That's just the sign of the times.
How many lights do you have? I want to compare. Like ring lights and staging lights.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, I've got one main one and 2 back here, so you're ahead of me there. Gaming and broadcasting, it's not all that different, right?
I mean, yes and no. They all require
different specialties.
Yes.
But our worlds collided on the Roblox IPO. I know you're with us. We were talking backstage about how great it was to have someone who actually, lives in the game and has built an empire, and really you live and breathe it, right? You've made it into your career.
Yeah.
And I remember I asked you on the eve of the IPO, I said, what do investors need to know about people who use the game? So I guess today, why don't we start? Has anything changed? I mean, when a company goes public, it's kind of this big moment where Wall Street wakes up and says, okay, how much can this company potentially be worth? Do I need to get in on the action? Has anything changed for you over the last few weeks within the game?
Personally, nothing has changed for me directly. We're still working just as hard. But there are a lot more eyes, especially on Underworks Studio, with how many kind of opportunities I've had to kind of share our story a little bit, which has been really fun. But overall, I think Roblox is exponentially growing. It's soaring, and you really can't even get online without hearing about it now. People who had no idea what it was are now actually super into it.
And so, I guess one of the things that investors are worried about, they always ask is, as the economy reopens, as kids go back to school, as they go out and socialize more, play sports, do you see less engagement on the platform? And in parts of the US, we are seeing that reopening. So I wonder, have you seen any less engagement? Do you think that one has to come at the expense of the other?
Yes and no. I've been online creating digitally for probably safely 5 years. And you always notice a trend during summer where more people are online, and then a trend when school starts that kids are buckling down and they're going to school, which is very important. So I think fluctuation is normal, but I still think that they will always have that really, really strong fan base of kids that are on every single day. And as soon as they finish their homework, they're on. But of course, real life factors do come into play, and that's just normal. You would hope a kid finishes their homework, right? So I don't think that it's going to slow down, or people are going to be I don't want to do Roblox anymore. But there are things that come up that require more responsibility than just having a lot of fun and playing a game.
Right. So it kind of ebbs and flows. But what we're seeing more is kids, not just kids, right? I know that the group of people who are using Roblox is expanding, and it's becoming sort of a social activity in and of itself. And we talk, the metaverse has sort of been a buzz concept in financial markets these days. I know it has been for you for a longer amount of time, but what kinds of things can you do in Roblox now, aside from just gaming? There's concerts. Do you see, and I've spoken to executives at the company that say there's going to be an education component. What do you think the potential is?
I think that there's, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure there's already an education component. You can already go on the dev forums and learn a lot there. They're free to read. You can also join programs where they teach you how to code. So I think they already have education. They may be planning to ramp it up. I'm not really sure on that. But yeah, they also have concerts, which are very exciting. I did a collaboration with Lil Nas X to promote his Roblox concert. And I think a lot more artists are going to be coming into that. And personally, our studio, Underworks Studio, is working with some really exciting artists to get some new things going. I can't say who they are, but
can you give us a tease?
I wish.
What about genre? Pop?
Genre.
Rap?
I will say they are chart toppers. I'll just say
toppers.
Yes.
Okay.
For sure. And then I've even had other teams of celebrities hit me up to want to do collaborations like I've done with Lil Nas X and Zach Huron from Why Don't We. I worked with them too. So more celebrities and more musicians are coming over to Roblox to, I would assume, maybe and I don't know, I'm not a professional, but maybe to extend their audience and get the new wave of people involved in their music and what they have to offer. So that's just, it's skyrocketing. It's insane.
Right. It's an important audience, right? And what would you say your demographic is for these artists and musicians? It's really important to look at the next generation. And so what's your audience, and what did your collaboration look like?
My audience, I polled about 80,000 people, and 90% of them are ages 9 to 14. And 90% are female, 5% chose not to say, and 5% were male identifying. And also the collaboration was just like, I just hopped on and played the most popular game on Roblox with Lil Nas X. I got him his very first Adopt Me pet, stuff like that. Just kind of like, you know, hey guys, we're playing Adopt Me today with Lil Nas X, and check out his concert. It's going to be really fun. So it was kind of just like hanging out and having a good time.
How many people did you say that you pulled? 80,000?
Oh, yeah, I pulled 80,000 people.
Wow. Okay, that seems really valuable, not just for artists and musicians, but for advertisers too. And I know that you've had this sort of brand for many years, and brands and advertisers come in and want to work with you. But it seems very smart to me that you're pulling your audience so that you can give potential advertisers and partnerships kind of like an exact demographic of where you are. So have you seen more advertising deals, more sponsorships come in because of that polling that you've done?
Actually, not because of that, but as things grow and progress, more people find me and then they want to work with me. And I do give them those demographics, maybe if I feel like YouTube isn't accurately representing my actual audience, because a lot of people use different accounts or they don't even have accounts. So I found that like it does really help get into a closer knit situation. I recently did collabs with LL Surprise, which I thought was really, really into my audience, because they also, LL Surprise also made a Roblox game. So just tons of companies are coming over, and it's been really nice.
What's the difference then? I mean, you're able to do this polling on Roblox. Are you able to do the same thing on YouTube? I think you alluded to there's third-party sort of data aggregators that may not be as useful.
The polling was not done on Roblox. It was done with Google Forms, and I actually broke Google Forms because now I can't access the results anymore because there's too many to load. So last I checked, it was 80,000. YouTube, like I said, people use other people's accounts or they don't have their own accounts. So it doesn't really give an accurate thing as just straight up asking people, like, kind of where do you fall in these ranges?
That's pretty good engagement too. The fact that you can set up a link and people are actually responding to it. So
yeah, I find that my engagement is substantially high comparative to maybe other, I don't want to say other creators in the space, but to maybe different types of influencers have different types of engagement. And I would say that my audience feels really connected to me in like a big sister kind of way, which I really love. So I think we've created something really great over here.
That's very cool. So Underworks Studio is looking to expand its own footprint. And I know that you guys were maybe talking to venture capitalists to raise some money. What has your experience been like there? What's the interest been like?
It's been really cool. Basically, I'll give the story really quick because I know we don't have a ton of time, but my husband watched the Roblox keynote and he was like, oh, they're raising VC, or not Roblox, but like companies are raising VC. It's like, I wonder if we could do that. I reached out to some friends. They connected us with some people. And it's been kind of crazy to feel like so validated in a way. Like we give people our numbers and they're like they had no idea. And I think that's the case for a lot of things. People just had no idea how lucrative maybe Roblox development can be, or just getting really integrated into the company and utilizing the resources that they offer. Also, it's like I was telling you before how I feel like we have like over like 15 people wanting to invest, which has been really nice. But we recently had somebody come in and they say, oh, we love your game, Shadow Look Bay. And it's like, that's not our game name, which is really funny. And it was really okay. It was really fine. But I think it just shows that people are just interested in, even if they don't really understand Roblox and the metaverse, numbers don't lie. So.
Well, it's an important point though, right? We talked to tons of founders, and I've covered tech for a number of years. So I talk to companies at their earliest stages when they're raising, like a Series A or a Series B or seed round. And I guess it sounds like what you're learning is that it's really important what kind of investor you bring on. What are you looking for? Do you want someone who knows the correct title of the game and knows at least a little bit about the metaverse and is at least interested versus making potentially a quick buck?
It's like we are open to both, but really what we're looking for, we have a set of strategic partners that we're really excited to get started with, who are actually very involved. They know the name of the game, they know my company, they know my demographics, and they have a lot of ideas to contribute, and they're going to be more like long-term strategic partners. Well, everyone's long-term because if they're buying equity, but then we also have some people who just want to throw in some money. They want to be hands-off, but we need that money to kind of help get things rolling. We just bought a building off of the interstate, and we are moving everybody here to Texas. So it's like stuff like that. It really helps to get the funding. So overall, like bigger percents are going to people who are strategic partners. But then some people, like literally, I don't even know if I should say this, but one company was just like $100 million valuation. And we were like, what? Like we were like just really like blown away by that. But they were really excited about everything we were doing. And I think they had a lot of funding. So they were just like,
well, I mean, valuations in private markets are crazy these days, and companies are getting more than they ask for. Unicorns are being birthed. That's a company worth $1 billion or more. What did that make you think? Are you kind of, do you want to go as fast as possible, or are you sort of like taking your time, steady growth? This is something we ask, a lot of founders is like, do you want to be profitable? Do you want to just grow at any cost right now?
Luckily, we've been profitable and we are profitable. And I think that's why so many VCs are super interested, because we don't need investment to be profitable, but it does help us bring on more people and do more projects with Roblox, and also like buy these buildings to help move people out, give them benefits. Like we've incorporated Underworks Studio, and it's like a real business now where we offer health insurance, paid time off, like just something I never thought like we would be at. And I think we have about 20 employees starting, because they were contractors and now they're moving over to employment. And we hope to see that come up to like 60 by the end of the year, which is really exciting. And I can't remember the question you just asked. So
don't worry about it. Something else caught my attention. Did you say you're moving everyone to Texas?
Mm-hmm. Yep. We have a lot of people coming down to Texas. We actually already have some of them here. They're moving from all over Tennessee, Arkansas.
Wow. Are they developers? Are they coders? Yeah.
Yep. Developers, modelers, concept artists, everything. We love our team. They're like, a really big part of our company. So we offered them some bonuses and like they're all going to move down here because this is a very long-term thing.
That's interesting though, because a lot of companies, they're moving to this kind of remote work model, work from anywhere. But what you're saying is that a lot of your employees are actually wanting to move to Texas to be together, that in-person collaboration.
Yes, which I think is very important.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a lot easier that, like, for example, let's say we're modeling a hairstyle, it's a lot easier to walk into the office and collaborate and really punch off of each other and be like, oh, this is really fun. We should try this. We should do this, instead of like a Discord message. And then they'll get to that when they see it. Like, I think it's just really great for the creative flow and everything of the company to have people around. We also want to like create really high morale. We want people to feel like welcome, so we want to have like little fun office parties, donuts on Monday, stuff like that. Like we just want to we want to show more ways of appreciation to our employees with things that we couldn't do while they're like in a different state.
Are you open to having people work remote though, if that means that you can get access to better engineers, better talent?
Yeah, they just would be contracted and not employed.
I see. Interesting. Okay. Underworks Studio, 10 years from now, I know that you're all in on Roblox, but do you foresee, building games out or features on different platforms like Fortnite, for example? Where does it all head?
I mean, 10 years in the future, yeah, for sure. Things could definitely expand to that point. But right now we are like, I remembered your question before. Are we going fast and furious, or are we taking our time? We're definitely taking our time. We're expanding because we want to take on more projects, but we're not overworking our employees and saying, get this done really fast so you can move to this. That's why we want to hire more people, so that the quality checks are there. Our passion is there. Like we can see the vision as it comes to life, and we're not rushing things out. And so, for example, we're going to have another game in alpha by the end of summer. That's not like any of our other games. So we're already like working on our third game, which is really exciting. So 10 years in the future, who knows? Right now, we just have a lot of ideas for Roblox games, and it's just about finding the time to create them and bringing on the right people to help those like visions come to life.
Right, so there's enough on the Roblox platform for you guys to stay there for now.
Yeah, we're not even thinking about like, how do we totally leave? Like that's not even a thought that's like crossed us at all, even a little bit. So,
right, interesting. Okay, well, so maybe one day, Megan, we'll see you on CNBC for your own IPO. After you raise lots of money from VCs.
That'd be a dream. I know, for example, my husband's like, he jokes about that all the time. Like, imagine we ring the bell, and I'm like, that'd be really cool. But I never expected to be here, so really anything's possible.
Right. I know it's interesting how all of these worlds collide. And we hope to have you on CNBC again before your IPO or your acquisition to tell us more about the game and your users. Our audience really loves to hear from you. It's so interesting to get the perspective from a gamer, a developer, an influencer, triple threat. So thank you so much. And I hope to talk to you soon.
Thanks, Megan. All right. Thanks. Bye. I don't know how to turn off my camera. Okay.